as I said before, we're not going to chronicle every Doge and presidential power decision because the district courts, court of appeals, even the Supreme Court ones, they're going to be hundreds, and we're not going to chronicle them all. However, yesterday's decision, 5-4, on a case involving, won't even get into the details, with the question of the president's power to do certain things in terms of firing, stopping spending, etc. This decision, 5-4, had the three liberals, and it had Amy Coney Barrett, and it had the Chief Justice. And what some legal experts are saying, and I believe they're right, is this could be the 5-4 coalition that rules repeatedly against the president on these issues. Could be. Not on every case, but it could be. So, Dan, do you see this 5-4 thing as a sign of things to come, or just it's haphazard and win some and will lose some?
No, I think it may be a sign to come. I think Roberts and Comey Barrett will look to have at least one or two big decisions in support of Trump. Just, I think it's them playing their politics a little bit. But it sounds like, and I'm not a lawyer, that a lot of these cases are fairly similar. So I'm not sure, once you rule on one or two, I think it's going to be hard to kind of, split babies and say, oh, this is really different, and therefore we're going to go in a different direction. So look, we've been asking since this started, would Congress push back and would the Supreme Court push back? We're starting to see Congress kind of inch closer to potentially, standing up to say, wait a second, we have to codify this, or, we have the right to appropriate it. And I think you may see the courts start to say, you just can't do this. So we'll see.
Sean, is there MAGA concern about one of the president's own nominees?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm concerned. I will say I'm not a lawyer. I only watch Law and Order, and increasingly less as it becomes woke. But I think there is a nuance to Dan's point on how these are, like, where the court is having an issue and saying, okay, this is like they're threading needles on this stuff. And so the way in which things happen. So for example, on the inspector generals, it's going back to the 30-day issue, how the administration handles this and the procedure which they follow does matter clearly in terms of the court's eyes. So the court, I think, will be ruling in a much more surgical way, saying, you have the right to do this, but you didn't do it right. Or here's the way we're going to narrowly rule in this fashion. As I said yesterday, there's two issues here. One is the legal outcome, especially in the short term or the long term, because some of these, the court's saying, yeah, you can keep going. It's the opposite. You can keep going, but we want to hear more. Some of them are saying, we're going to stop you, but we'll hear more. I think the other point that I made yesterday is for folks on my side of the aisle, we're excited that the president is fighting a lot of these battles. And the idea that he's trying to, cut this spending out, and the court's saying you can't do it. I still give President Trump a ton of credit for trying. And I know that he's going to keep going forward.